See, we are coming over here on YouTube. What's up, IG? Facebook is here. YouTube just came on. So today we're going to be talking about the stock market and why it is the best investment. So before I do that, let me tell you a little bit about. Oh my goodness, it's coming on. Let me turn this on. Let me turn this off over here. Oh, I see it's over here. Okay. So I have all sorts of investments. As you guys know, I am the founder of Think Life is Different, where we really help you elevate your wealth building strategies in your businesses as well. And so I have real estate, I have some private equity, I have a stock portfolio. I have structured notes. I got international real estate. I have lending. I have all sorts of investments that are going on right now, and I mean, I really started out. Here's been the journey. Here's been the journey, and I would love to hear. Oh, what's up, you guys? I see Matt is on. We got Natalie is on. We got everybody that's on over here on YouTube as well. You guys, let me know what do you feel is the best investment. It's so funny because I was just talking to a friend right now, and I was talking to them about like you don't. The one thing I'm so grateful for is you don't have to be smart in order to make a lot of money in the stock market. You don't have to be smart in order to make a lot of money, period. Let me just say that again. I remember one flaw and one fallacy that I had years ago because every single one of my friends that I grew up with are so much more gifted, talented, academically talented, athletically talented. GPAs were higher than mine. And I remember always feeling like, man, I feel really kind of stupid. I graduated high school with a 2.2 GPA. I didn't really apply myself academically. And then when I would look at people like around my neighborhood, I grew up in a neighborhood that didn't have a ton of people that looked like me. Like we had a lot of Caucasians, we had a lot of Asians, and then we had a handful of Hispanics. But when I would look at the people that live like north of me in really nice houses and all that stuff, they tend to be Asian. And I always thought that, man, in order to kind of make it whatever that was, like you had to be really smart. You had to have master's degrees, you had to have doctoral degrees, you had to have higher education. And I always felt like there's no hope for me because I've just never been that academically gifted. I haven't been that gifted at all. And so one of the fallacies that I had, even as much as 12, 13 years ago, was that you had to be really, really, really smart in order to do very, very well financially. Let me lay that to rest for you. You don't have to be smart at all to make a ton of money. And maybe you could just repeat that. And I see some questions is coming in. What's up, YouTube? Let me just say this again. You do not have to be smart in order to make a ton of money, and you don't need to know the entire picture. You don't need to see the entire staircase. You just need to see the next step, and you have to be willing to take the next step. Let me tell you what you need in order to make a lot of money. And a lot of money is really subjective, right? A lot of money to someone over here may be completely different to what it is to someone that's over here. I remember when I thought, making six figures was a lot of money. And then someone challenged me a long time ago and they said, why would you wait all year to make what you can make in a month? Why would you wait to make six figures 12 months, a whole year, to where you could just make that in a month? And I was like, wow, that's a completely different way of thinking. Here I was thinking that six figures was a lot of money, and their perspective and concept was, why would you wait a whole year to do something that you can do in a month? And now, I guess 8 years from that encouragement, I'm thinking, why would you wait freaking a whole month to do what you could do in a day? Completely different. It's subjective. It's based off of who's looking at the picture. And so You don't have to be smart. You don't have to know the whole picture. You don't have to be born in a certain family, or you don't have to have none of that stuff. Some of the things you do have to do, though, is you definitely have to have delayed gratification. You definitely have to have courage. You definitely have to be willing to take risks. You have to be willing to do. Here's basically what it comes down to: you got to be willing to do things that other people are not willing to do so that you can have and enjoy things that other people will never be able to have. And in order to do that, you fundamentally have to learn how to become a different person. And it is why I've called my company Think Life is Different, because you're going to have to change your beingness. And a lot of that comes down from the way that you actually see the world or choose to see the world. And I think we don't know that that's a choice. What's up, Instagram? We don't know that that's a choice, that you can actually choose to see the world a different way. You can choose to see opportunities a different way. And you can choose to operate a different way. Let me give you maybe the greatest piece of advice that you've ever gotten before. Here's the greatest piece of advice. If you see a whole bunch of people walking this way, I am telling you, walk the opposite way. If you see a whole bunch of people walking this way, I'm telling you, walk the opposite way. If you see a whole bunch of people that think this way, I'm telling you, force yourself to think a different way. And if you see a whole bunch of people that's caught up in a certain dogma, I am telling you, question the hell out of that dogma and start thinking for yourself. That is what it takes to start making whatever we think a lot of money is. But if you follow the herd, you are going to follow them off a cliff, because that's where most people are, especially when we talk about finances and investing. So, really fast, why do I think the stock market is the best investment? It really comes down to your preference. I have real estate where we've done really well. I've made a ton of money in real estate. We've done pretty darn well, I would say, in real estate. It's a great investment. I've done well in lending. My first really big profit came from lending money, becoming the bank. We've done well in insurances. We've done well in private equity. We've done well. We've done well in a lot of things. Why do I like the stock market? It's going to come down to your preference. I love it because I love making money. Write this down, for doing nothing. Let me just say this again. I like making money for doing nothing. I did a video the other day, and it's out on my social media. But in one day, we made what my wife earned all year as a teacher, and I did nothing that day. I documented my day. I went to yoga, or I got up, got the kids up. I walked them to school. From there, I got in my car. I went to yoga. From yoga, I drove down Pacific Coast Highway, drove down to La Jolla Shores, got out, overlooked the ocean, did some meditation, came back here to my office, got on a call with my team, and it was like the most enjoyable day. And I did nothing. And yet, the stock market, made us more in that one day than my wife, who went to university, great universities. Her university was way better than mine, who got all these degrees and everything. That's what it does. And there's not too many investments that are out there that can be totally hands off. Now, I've had some things where I've had to build some teams and you have some sort of passivity. But when I'm talking about just opening up an account and seeing, wow, look at that, that's kind of dope. That's what I love. And why do I love it? Because I want freedom. I'm looking for peace, tranquility, um, freedom. I want to do what I want to do. And I know a lot of you guys want to do it as well. And so you got to find a vehicle that really makes sense for you. What makes sense for me and my personality style is really, man, what can I truly, truly, truly put this money in and the worst type of money you could ever have is lazy money. If you just got money just sitting there doing nothing, that is like, I always say, it's like having a lazy ass kid that just sits on your couch freaking eating popcorn and Pop Tarts all day. That money has got to be working. And so finding vehicles, what's up, Mickey? Finding vehicles to where that thing can work independent of you is really where it's at. So just really fast today, I got some people jumping into my Zoom room. Um, the stock market, man, is where it is at. Lots of other vehicles you can put money in. For me, it has been one of the best asset classes to invest in. If you ever need any help with any of that, make sure to reach out to my team. We can see where you're at and we can see if we can assist you, and then really take it from there. Have an amazing day, everyone.